So there are times in life when we're cruising along and everything is going exactly as planned. Everything's working out, things are falling into place, all of the goals, we're checking them off. But then there are times when we get a curveball. Yes, and then we're dealing with some stress. So I know that we've all been there, right? We've all dealt with stress and we all do. That's just you live long enough and you're going to have some stress. But today I just want to provide you with seven strategies that I have found to be extremely useful and helpful and effective in my own life in order to manage stress, help me to relax, help me to overall generally just feel much better about my life overall and happier. And I hope that you find them useful in your own life. So let's get into them. Number one, stress relief strategy that I have on my list is to ask for and accept help. Ask for and accept help. And I know that for some of you, this seems like a no-brainer, like you're used to asking for help, you're used to accepting help. But then there are some of us, some of us overachievers, that we have a hard time asking for help, and number two, accepting help, right? So if you're someone who's kind of an overachiever, you like to get things done, you're very goal oriented, you're very disciplined, there's a good chance that you've fallen out of practice in asking for help. I know that that's me, right? I constantly have to remind myself to ask for help and I have to practice it. But one thing that I've learned is that when I'm practicing that, my stress levels definitely decrease. Not only is it helpful because I'm not carrying the load by myself, but it's interesting because the more that you ask for and accept help, it seems to me like the more help seems to present itself, right? Like, I don't know. Y'all let me know. Is that what you've noticed, that when you ask for help more regularly, it seems like help seems to come? I don't know, but I've noticed it, and I've noticed that the more that I practice asking for and accepting help, I feel like help seems to show up. And I think also because I expect help, that maybe I just have a better ability to see the options for help available, whereas previously I was probably pretty narrow-minded. I probably had convinced myself that I had to do it on my own, right? I had to do it all on my own, so I really wasn't even seeing the help. But definitely asking for help. And I've also realized that sometimes it changes how I carry myself when I am expecting help. Like, I don't mind looking like I need help. I don't mind looking like I need help because, yes, I want some help. And I found that really useful, especially, traveling. Sometimes you're traveling and you're in a foreign country. You don't speak the language. And the beautiful thing about a lot of countries outside of the U.S. is that people are willing to help if you look like you need help. And I feel like maybe because I'm a woman too, sometimes I think that comes in useful, right? When you look like you need help, I feel that in particular, people will offer help. They'll offer assistance. If you look like the bags are too heavy, somebody might offer to carry them. Yes. Yes, I need help. Yes, please carry them up the stairs. So yeah, asking for and accepting help helps to reduce your stress. And even if you're looking at your to-do list, right? It doesn't even have to be something like traveling. It'd be something like you're looking at all the things that you have to do in the next week. Try and spend some time thinking about how you can ask for help. Who can help you? Where can you reach out? And then I sometimes will sit down and be like, if there was a possibility of having help, what would that look like, right? I kind of have to walk myself down that path, but it's very useful. So try that. Number two that I have on my list is to set a boundary. Set a boundary. Yes. I know that y'all know this because y'all been online, but we all know now these days that not having boundaries will increase your stress. I don't know. It seems like some people out here, I don't know, they're just sent to stress people out, right? They're here so that those of us who have challenges with boundaries, they are helping us to practice learning how to establish boundaries in our life. Because yes, whether we like it or not, we have to set boundaries. I like what some people say, that what no is a complete sentence, that it does not require an explanation. And I know that for me, as someone who didn't like grow up learning about setting boundaries or practicing them, it was quite new to me in my adulthood, learning how to set boundaries. And one of the things that I really found helpful in thinking about boundaries, since it was something I struggled with, was recognizing that a boundary is not so much about saying no to someone as it is about saying yes to myself, right? A boundary, yes, it may require that I say no, but more importantly, it's about me saying yes to what's most valuable and most important to me, right? I'm saying yes to myself if I require more time. I'm saying yes to myself if I need space, right? I recognize that I don't owe anybody anything, right? And I have to remind myself of that when it comes to boundaries, that the only person that I owe in most situations is myself. I owe myself honor. I owe myself respect. I owe myself the ability to have what it is that I require in order to operate as my best self, right? And I owe myself the right and the permission to release those things that don't bring me peace and that upset my joy. Right? I owe that to myself. So that has to be the priority. Learning how to say yes to myself by learning how to say no to other people. So yes, set a boundary. The next thing that I have on my list to help reduce stress would be to prioritize your pleasure. This is one of my favorite ones lately. Prioritizing my pleasure has become important because I've realized that it helps to reduce so much stress. It's so important that I allocate time doing the things that I desire, doing the things that I enjoy without guilt, right? Things that I'm able to set aside on my calendar just because they're fun for me and no other reason. It's not about productivity. It's not about money. It's not about doing things for other people. Purely because it makes me happy, I'm going to do it. And for me, I've discovered that that helps to refill me. It helps me to feel more rejuvenated. It helps me to feel more in alignment with myself. So that way, when I am doing things for other people and fulfilling whatever roles that I have to fulfill in this life, I'm able to do so more effectively, right? And I'm able to do so without resentment, with less stress, ultimately with less stress. So yeah, prioritize your pleasure. Think and come up with some things that you want to do just for the fun of them. Put them on your calendar and guard those things. It's okay to guard the things that bring you joy, right? So the next thing that I have on my list is to get spiritual. Yes, get spiritual. That definitely helps to reduce stress, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through yoga, being out in nature, which for me is very spiritual. Being next to the water always for me is a spiritual experience, but do the things that help you to feel more connected with God, with universe, whatever it is that you enjoy. But getting spiritual, spending a time, an allocated time or practice connecting with spirit will help to reduce your stress. And, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the church. You can connect with God on your own, right? You can directly connect with God in your personal and private time. So it's more about a personal relationship and establishing a connection so that you feel more anchored and more grounded and more confident in who you are. Next I have on my list is to slow down. Yes, slow down. Everything is not an emergency. Everything is not an emergency. Our culture is set up such that it's like, everything is so fast. Everything is moving at such a fast pace. And again, when I think about travel, one of the things that I so appreciate is the fact that through traveling, I realized that here in the United States of America, we are always in a rush and for no reason. Like, we are always in a rush. So, with traveling, it really helped to reshape my perspective of urgency. Because a lot of places you go to, people are not in a rush to help you to get stuff done. It's gonna happen la mañana, tomorrow. They are not in no rush. And it made me realize, like, yeah, it's honestly not that much of a rush to get things done. So yeah, slow down. Try to slow down the overall pace of your life. Recognize that most things are not urgent, they're not emergent, that they don't have to be done rapidly. And since they don't have to be done rapidly, then you definitely can put some intention in just generally slowing down. I know that for me, as a nurse, even I walked really, really fast, and still I have to work on that. Working in the hospital for years, I just think that, it was just part of part of who I was. I was gonna do things fast because you always have to move fast in the hospital. And it took people would be like, "Girl, why are you walking so fast? Like, you're on vacation." What are you doing? We are not in a rush. We literally have all day, and you're moving at 50 miles an hour. Like, slow down. Okay. So yes, learning to slow down, practicing moving more slowly, practicing not being in a rush, practicing telling yourself that you have enough time to get things done rather than constantly telling yourself you don't have enough time, right? Because if you're constantly telling yourself you don't have enough time, you're going to tend to be rushing. Take time to savor the moments. Take time to savor your food. Take time to indulge in the things that you are doing. If you're out for a walk, taking time to stop and smell the roses, as they say, right? Slowing your pace down helps to reduce stress. The next that I have on my list is to practice gratitude. And that for me has really become extremely important over the last few years. I feel like I've always had some form of gratitude practice, but since about 2020, it's really become more important to me to be intentional about gratitude, in particular during times of stress and distress, and when there's a lot of negativity going on in the world, right? Because it's easy to get wrapped up in that negative cycle of things not going well. But the thing about practicing gratitude is that it forces you to see the positive things about your situation. So yes, being in certain situations in these last few years, I've definitely learned how to practice gratitude, and which has really helped to change my perspective, and I think overall shift my life and help me to be overall just happier and more content with where I'm at present, as opposed to constantly feeling like I'm going to be happy in the future, right? I'm going to be happy and less stressed once I get this done. Practicing gratitude helps me to bring that pleasure, that happiness, that peace into the present moment, which I have found to be extremely helpful. And finally, the last thing that I have on my list that I have found to be extremely helpful in reducing stress is to spend time asking myself, what is it that I need to give myself today? Yes, being intentional about asking myself what it is that I need to give myself today. What I learned about myself is that oftentimes I put a lot of time and energy fulfilling whatever role, task, assignment that I have to accomplish, and I'm going to give 100% to getting it done. That's just how my personality was set up. So I realized that I actually had to take time specifically to ask myself, what is it that I need to give myself? Listen to what it is that I need from myself, and to make sure that I'm intentional about giving to myself, because it was easier for me to prioritize giving to others than it was for me to prioritize taking the time to give me what I need, right? Because I want to center peace in my life. I want to center rest, right? I want to have a healthy lifestyle, a healthy mind. I want to have longevity and good health, for the future, for the present, and also for the future. And so in order to do that, I have to ensure that I'm taking care of myself, right? And I'm sure that it's important for you to do the same. So being intentional about asking yourself what it is that you need. Is it that you need more rest? Do you need more water? Do you need more help, right? Do you need to shift some things off your plate? Are there some things that you agreed to do that now you need to give yourself permission to not get them done because they're causing you unnecessary stress? So yes, asking yourself what it is that you need, honoring your voice, and giving to yourself the things that you need is of extreme importance in reducing stress. So that's all that I have for you today. I hope that you find them helpful. If so, please go ahead and leave me a comment below. Let me know what things that you find helpful in order for you to relax and reduce your stress. If there's anything that I missed, any things that you enjoy, let me know. I mean, we have a community here. I'd love to hear from you so that we can share, right, tips and tools so that we can all be our best, the best version of ourselves. That's the goal. So if you don't know me, by the way, hi, I'm Dr. Nicole LaShawn, a nurse practitioner with a background in family medicine. Here on this channel, I am helping Black women to create the life that we want to live rather than the one that has been assigned to us. I talk about things related to health, wellness, nutrition, and travel, and I believe that health is wealth. So on this channel, we are creating a life of peace, of joy, of prosperity, and of good health. So if that is something you're interested in, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, put a like on this video, and just leave me a comment below. So till next time, bye.